Oh yeah.
I'll take whatever I can get.
I was sore last week. I was sore on Wednesday from our Tuesday practice. That was hard.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah, like my like right here, like my back and stuff. It was good. If I do say so myself.
It was good.
Okay. Let's do it. So I am going to mute you guys. You guys are really good about muting yourselves, but just in case somebody hops on and isn't muted. And then spotlight myself. I'm just gonna give my camera a little polish. I feel like the lights just make it look a little funky. Hopefully you can see fine. Okay. So let's start, my friends, in a seated position. And my invitation for you, if you usually sit in a certain way, so for me, I usually sit in easy pose with one ankle just in front of the other, one foot in front of the other. My invitation is to switch it up a little bit, do something a little bit different. So even if it's just switching across of your legs, or maybe today you want to try kneeling, you could bring your knees together, feet apart, and sit on a block or some folded blankets or bolster if you've got one at home. And if you feel like it, you could even go for screaming toe pose with your toes tucked under and sitting back. And then I know that sitting is sometimes really uncomfortable for people. So if sitting is really uncomfortable for you and you feel like laying down, go ahead and just lay down. And since you're at home, you might even sit up against a wall and use that to support your spine, get nice and tall. So lots of options. Choose what feels most resonant for you today. And before you settle into stillness, take just a couple moments to move your body in some way, shape, or form. So something as simple as just rolling out your shoulders or rolling your head around, or you can make it bigger. You can reach your arms up, you could twist. So just take a moment to really feel your physicality, feel your body, come into your body. And then when you're ready, settle into stillness. So close your eyes or lower and soften your gaze, whichever you prefer. I really like closing my eyes because it just helps me tune out. If I'm looking out, sometimes it's easier for my mind to wander. So totally up to you. And then place your hands intentionally. And feel, is there any way you could relax through your facial muscles a little bit more? Is there any way you could grow your spine or the back of your neck a little longer? And then start to just notice. Become more aware of your own inner space. So you don't have to necessarily tune out what's going on around you. You might still hear sounds around you. You might still be, cognizant of the ground, the sensation of the ground underneath you. But start to feel into the space inside of you in a more intentional way. And if it helps, you might use your imagination. You might visualize your inner space. You could visualize your inner space like a cave, or maybe like a great big huge auditorium. So I'm trying to connect to my third eye, open up my third eye a little more, and that's our imagination. So give yourself permission in moments like this to use your imagination. Sadly, as adults, we feel like an imagination is childish and silly. That's part of who we are as humans. So start to kind of reconnect with it if you feel like you've disconnected. Start to visualize your breath flowing through you in some way. So maybe you imagine it as vapor, stardust. Maybe you imagine it almost like a syrup flowing through you. So whatever, again, resonates for you. I like to visualize my breath flowing up and down the length of my spine. But maybe you want to visualize your breath flowing into your arms and your legs too. So use your imagination, visualize and connect to your breath, focus on your breath, start to become friends with your breath, start a relationship with it. And the next time you inhale, fill up as big as you can. Hold at the top. Maybe take an extra little sip if you can. And then open your mouth and big sigh, let it go. Do that 2 more times. So inhale, fill up. Take a moment in that fullness, pause, and as you hold your breath, see if you can relax around it. So soften through your outer shell. And then when you're ready, open your mouth and sigh it out. Very nice. One last time, just like that. Hold in fullness. Hold a little bit longer than you thought you could. So most of us can hold our breath longer than we think we can. So go to the edge just for a split second and then open your mouth, sigh it out. Start to drop in now to your ujjayi breath. If you want to sit a little bit longer as you connect to your breath and find kind of your own internal rhythm, internal pulse, you can sit as long as you want, but if you're ready to move, hands and knees is where we'll go. An intuitive movement there. So intuitive movement, you guys know, I think, what it is, but it's just moving in whatever way your body wants to move. So getting out of your head, that part of you that says, I do 5 cat-cows at the beginning of every single practice, and then I sit back in child's pose for 3 breaths. Let that go and just, in this moment, feel your body and see what it wants to do. So this is how we start a relationship with our body. We start to listen to it, and the more we listen, the more it speaks to us. Use your breath to connect. So big, spacious breaths. Tell your body, I'm here. I'm giving you my breath and feeling whatever you want to feel right now. Whatever's flowing through right now. And then I'm going to say 3 to 5 more rounds. I honestly feel like sometimes, you guys, I could do this for a half hour. Just move my body in whatever way it wants to move. I love it so much. So if it helps, close your eyes and just feel what's there. It can look so many different ways. I even try when I'm by myself to move in ugly ways. We never want to move in ugly ways. We're conditioned to want to look good all the time. So let yourself look ugly for a minute. Maybe you do some lion's breath. And then when you feel ready for a down dog, just go ahead and take yourself back to your downward facing dog. First down dog of practice. So same thing in your dog pose. There's the structure of the pose. There's the position, but then feel your body in it. So let your body do what it wants to do in this pose, in this general structure. Maybe it wants to bend the knees. Maybe you want to walk out your dog. Perhaps give your head a little shake or a little nod. Maybe you want to experiment, get curious. What would it be like if I shortened my stance a little bit? What happens to my spine? What would it be like if I lengthened my stance a little bit? What would it be like if I bent both of my knees a lot? So there's so many ways we can feel into this pose and see what works best for us today. Big spacious breath, stay with your ujjayi, so hear it. It flows through the back of your throat. Let's take just a couple more rounds in our dog. Then as you're ready, friends, just let your hands begin to crawl slowly towards the back of your mat. So eventually you'll be in a forward fold near the back of your mat. Hang out in your fold. So all the weight comes into your feet. You can have a little or a big bend in your knees. You can have your feet wider than your hips. You can have your toes together if that's what you like. So feeling around, maybe a ragdoll. Maybe you want to bend one knee and then the other, so pedaling out your heels just like you do in down dog. In my opinion, the more we can use intuitive movement and start to really respond to what our body's telling us, the more we're going to get out of our practice, the more we're going to get out of every single pose. So it is just like any other relationship. It takes time. And there's ups and downs. So be playful, be patient, and most of all, just come from a place of curiosity rather than judgment or fear. Next time you breathe in, halfway lift position, lengthen. Exhale, let it go, fold. Ha. Do that one more time, lift halfway, so feel into the length from the crown of your head all the way back to your hips, your sit bones. Exhale, bow and fold. Then from the press of your feet, lead with your heart, take it all the way up, rise up, arms to the sky, big stretch, reach up. Hands to your heart as you exhale. Flow with your breath for a moment, half suns. Inhale, reach up and stretch. Exhale, dive down slowly, heart leads, and then fold in. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, bow, let it go. Ha. All the way to empty. From the press of your feet, I like a big bend in my knees. Heart leads. Rise up. It's like a reverse swan dive. Reach up and stretch. Hands to heart. Exhale. Once more like that. High mountain. Inhale. Exhale, dives. All the way to empty. Relax your neck at the bottom. Lift halfway. Inhale. Exhale, release and fold. Press into your feet. Heart leads as you rise. Big inhale as you reach. And hands to your heart. Exhale. Good job. Inhale, reach up and stretch. This time, exhale, hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders back and down. And then you guys, we're going to do something a little bit funky. So bring a bend, keep your shoulders back and down, so don't let your shoulders roll forward, but bring a big bend into your elbows and squeeze your elbows towards each other. See if you can press your palms together. I'm going to come up close so you can see. So press your palms together, bend your elbows, squeeze your elbows towards each other, and then start to draw circles with your hands and go as fast as you can, like you're throwing them in the washing machine. Or maybe it's the dryer, I don't even know. As fast as you can go, keep your breath. And then the other way, as fast as you can go. Circle, circle, circle. You should feel some heat in your shoulders now, yes? All right, circle, circle, circle. Breathe deeply. And stretch. So now take your hands back. Open through the front of your shoulders. Press your hips forward. Gently lift your heart. Inhale. Good job, you guys. Exhale, dive down. Keep your clasp a little bit longer. Halfway lift as you hold your hands together. So fingers stay interlaced. Exhale, fold. Just a little longer. Inhale, lift your knuckles higher. Maybe start to reach them forward. Relax your neck. Lift your butt cheeks. Lift your sit bones. Exhale, hands to low back. Release. Let your arms come down and dangle. Give them a little shake. Maybe your head wants a little shake. Lift halfway. Inhale. Exhale, plant your hands or your fingertips and start to crawl your hands forward slowly, strong through your arms, connected to your center, come into a plank position. So pause here and really push into your hands. Your fingers are spreading wide. Draw your belly button in and up. If you want to, you can come to your knees. Take one more big inhale. I like to rock forward the tippy toes. And then exhale, slowly lower one strong, straight, powerful line of energy as you lower down. Spider-Man Cobra, hands come out wide, lift to fingertips. Elbows face the sky. Inhale your heart. Lift up. Exhale, take a little twist to your right side with your left shoulder down. Inhale back to center. It's like kind of a micro shoulder pigeon. So make sure your hands are nice and wide. Exhale, twist the other way, the opposite direction. Back to center, breathe in, lift your heart. Do that once more each direction with your own breath. Slowly feel into your shoulders, feel into your front body, back body, side bodies, lower body. Child's pose it out when you're ready. So just back to a child's pose and rest there. See if you can let your shoulders now just relax. So it might even feel nice to reach your arms back like an embryo. You can grab your heels if it's available and you'd like to, otherwise palms face up. Take some big, huge breaths down into your low back. Maybe an open mouth exhale if it would feel good. And then rise up to your hands and your knees. And find your way back to your downward facing dog. Ujjayi breath, reconnect to it. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot to the top of your yoga mat, low lunge. And then let's bring our back knee to the ground today. If you want extra cushion, get something, get a sweatshirt, put it under your back knee, double up your mat, grab a blanket, whatever you'd like. You're at your home, so you have lots to work with. Hands come up to front thigh. So if when you are straight up, your front foot is way back here, it's going to be really hard to lean into this. So it might even be nice to walk your front foot forward so it's out in front of your knee. So you have lots of space to work with here. And then hands on your front thigh, press down into your front heel. Imagine you're trying to pull your front heel back and start to let your hips move forward. Front heel is energetically pulling back. And almost imagine you want to lift your front heel back and up towards your right butt cheek. Your right butt cheek sits towards your front heel. Tone your belly, draw your belly button in and up. Make sure your back hip is square. It's not rotating out at all. And if your back toes are untucked like mine, really press down into your shoelaces, maybe even spread your toes and press down through your toenails. If you would like, this is just an option. Take your left arm to the sky. Take your right forearm behind your back. So it's across your low back and start to work a little back bend. Make it come mostly from mid and upper back, not so much from low back. Navel to spine, front butt cheek towards your front heel. Take one last round wherever you're at. Everybody bring your hands down. So hands come to frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee now. Root into your front foot. Standing splits, float your left leg to the sky. And then we're gonna come into a half moon slowly. So if you wanna use something under your right hand, please feel free. Left hand to left hip and start to peel your left hip open. Stack it on top of right. And then eventually your left arm reaches up. Back leg strong, back foot active. If you want, you can turn it into Ardha ChandraChapasana. So bound variation, bend your left knee, reach back, grab hold of left foot. Wherever you are at your pose, maybe you're still in standing splits, totally fine. So be in your pose, your expression, make it work for your body today. Take one last huge breath. And then everybody back to a low lunge. However you need to get there, low lunge, low lunge. Step your front foot back, plank. Inhale at the top of your push-up, come to your knees if you would like, otherwise tippy toes, and then slowly lower. Back bend of your choice, inhale, lift your heart, peel it open. Tabletop, hands and knees. All right, So from hands and knees, fingers spread really, really wide, push into the ground. Find a connection to center, draw your belly button in and up, gaze down. So people really like to gaze forward, but try to just gaze down and lengthen through the back of your neck. Right arm goes forward, left leg goes back, spinal balance. So take a moment, connect to your center here, find power. Maybe you want to stay here and just breathe. Otherwise, reach your right arm back, bend your left knee, heel towards your butt cheek, lift your heart. So not from your head and your neck, but from your heart, see if you can lift. Stay here or grab hold of your ankle or the top of your foot and start to work that half bow. Hug in with your inner thighs, breathe down into your low belly. Push down through your left fingertips, soften your face. Take one last huge deep breath. Then slowly come back to spinal balance, reach forward and back, inhale. Exhale, hands and knees. All right, from hands and knees, we're going in to thread the needle. Option to extend right leg out to the right. Toes face forward. Left leg out to the left. Or excuse me, left arm out to the left. Inhale, see if you can reach your left fingertips towards the sky. And then with an exhalation, thread your left arm. Reach, reach, reach. Come down to rest gently here. If you don't like having your leg extended, you can set your right knee back down, no biggie. And then right arm might explore a little bit. You might wrap your right arm behind your back. Breathe, especially into your back body, and feel your breath in your back body. Exhale all the way to empty every time. If you do happen to have your right hand lifted, set it down. On your next inhale, unthread your left arm, reach it all the way up once more. And then exhale, left hand comes down. Take your right foot and swing your right toes off the left side of your mat. So right toes off left side of your yoga mat. Pull your hips over to your right side a little bit. And then gaze back over your left shoulder. You might kind of lean into it, feel around. You can round, you can arch, you can rock forward or back. One more deep breath, make it feel good. Or see if you can. And back to a tabletop. And even explore what feeling good means in your body. There's so many things that could mean, right? All right, from tabletop, friends, we're going to tuck our toes under. Make sure your knees are at least, or not at least, but make sure your knees are hips width distance apart, and then we're coming back into a screaming toe pose. If this bothers your knees, you might bring a blanket or something underneath them, or you can kind of triple fold your mat in front of you. So anything goes. If it feels like way too much on the soles of your feet, hands on a block in front of you, take some weight off, or hands on the ground in front of you, lift your hips, take some weight off. We're going to be here for about 5 more slow, deep breaths. If you're sitting back onto your heels, hug in with your inner heels. Try not to let them drift apart. Soften your face. If you want to explore with your arms in your own way, feel free. Exhale out your mouth anytime, couple more breaths. All right, very good. Come forward to hands and knees, untuck your toes. Gently tap the tops of your feet, pitter patter against the ground. And then downward facing dog when you are ready. And feel all that new awareness in your feet. Wow. Waking them up. So good for your plantar fascia. A lot of people, they just live their entire lives with their feet in their shoes, cooped up, and all the little muscles in their feet and toes get atrophied. So that's really sad because then when we get old, we have to use our orthotics and our special shoes to keep us stable as we walk around. And then that's why old people get up in the middle of the night, go to the bathroom in bare feet, and they fall a lot of times. So we want to keep our feet really, really alive. Keep our toes really strong. Our feet, they seem like maybe a little bit unimportant, but they're like the most, everything comes from our foundation. So important, the awareness of our feet. Take one more big inhale into your down dog, you guys. Good job. Thanks for listening to all my rambles today. Exhale, look to the top of your mat. However you want to get there, forward fold. Lift halfway, inhale. And let it go, exhale. From the press of your feet all the way to stand, arms reach up, big full body stretch. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up, high mountain. Exhale, slow swan dive all the way down. Lift halfway, inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, feet back. However you want to move through your vinyasa, and then we're going to meet in a child's pose. Give yourself a couple grounding breaths in child's pose. Downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg to the sky. Exhale, step your left foot to the top of your mat. Low lunge. And then back knee comes down gently. If you need extra cushion, use it. Grab something, put it under your back knee. Bring your hands up to your front thigh. Remember, we don't want our stance really short like this or we'll have nowhere to go. So walk your front foot forward. And then start to lean. Like you want to sit your left butt cheek onto your left heel, but at the same time, your left heel presses down and pulls back. Push your hands into your front thigh and draw your belly button back towards your spine. Your back hip is facing straight forward, not turning out. Stay right here and breathe. Or take your right arm to the sky. Bring your left forearm behind your back. Use it as a little bit of support. So press your forearm into your back. Start to curl open. Keep sitting your left butt cheek toward left heel. Keep lifting your heart really, really high. Soften through your face. Slow, spacious breaths. One more inhale. Exhale, bring your hands down to frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Standing splits. So root down and reach your right leg high. You might stay in standing splits, otherwise moving into our half moon. So left hand on a block if you want. Start to open, right hand on right hip, like you're peeling your right hip open and stacking it on top of left. And it's perfectly fine if you fall. Good to fall, it means you're challenging yourself. Back leg strong, back foot active, alive. Right arm reaches up, and if you want to move into the bound variation, please feel free to do so. You got about 2 or 3 more breaths on your own, wherever you're at. Whatever's there, see if you can really tune in. One last round. We'll all meet back in low lunge. So slowly and mindfully back to your low lunge. Hands on the ground, right toes back. Step your left foot back. You'll be in a plank pose. Inhale, push the ground away. Exhale, lower slowly. Lift your heart, inhale. Exhale, tabletop, hands and knees. So spread your fingers, navel to spine, gazing down. Left arm forward, right leg back, strong, straight, powerful line of energy. Keep pushing down through your right fingertips. Stay connected to your center. Stay here, or start to move into half bow, left arm back, bend right knee. Lift your heart, so not from your neck, but from your heart. Start to curl open. So you're using mid and upper back mobility. If it's available, grab hold of your foot or ankle. Kick and pull, gentle leverage. Breathe, hug in with your inner thighs, soften through your face. Active toes, see if you can get your toes to spread. One last big deep breath. And then slowly come back into that spinal balance, forward and back. Inhale. Exhale, back to hands and knees. Okie doke. Going in to thread the needle, left leg out to the left if you'd like. Toes face forward. And the sole of your foot is pressing into the ground. It's like a half wide-legged straddle position. Left hand down, right arm out, and right arm up. Breathe in here, reach. Exhale, thread your right arm underneath you. So reach, 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 and then come down, gently rest. And big, about 5 or 6 big deep breaths. And if you don't like having your left leg extended, left knee can come back to the ground, no big deal at all. So make this work for your body. All right, you guys. So nice. If you happen to have your left hand lifted, bring it back down. On an inhalation, unthread your right arm, reach it up, 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 open up. Exhale, right hand down. Pick your left foot up and swing your left leg all the way over. So your left toes are off the right edge of your mat. Pull your hips over to the left and then gaze back over your right shoulder. Look back at your toes. You can lean around, you can rock around, you can roll around. Whatever that means to you. Sometimes I even like to dig my right heel into my outer left quad muscle. It kind of like rolling it out. It's like using a foam roller for a second, or like a lacrosse ball. Giving myself some massage. Take one last deep breath. And then back to hands and knees. And we're going to sit back into a screaming toe pose again. So if you need extra cushion for your knees, grab it or set it up. Roll up your mat in front of you or something like that. Toes are curled under, about hips width distance apart with your knees. Sit back. If you need to, or if it just, I don't like saying need, because it's like if you want to, do whatever works best. It doesn't matter if you need to. Maybe today you just want to bring your hands out in front of you. You can set them on a block or on the ground. Just take some weight off if it's a little bit too much. We don't always need to push, push, push. Sometimes we need to let off. We're not meant to change like big changes really quickly. As humans, we do slow change best. That's sustainable change. Don't force anything or it won't stick. You'll probably end up hurting yourself. Big deep breaths, about 3 more. Good job, you guys. One last round. Exhale out your mouth if you want to. Breathe down into your feet. And then forward to hands and knees. Untuck your toes. Pitter patter, tap them against the ground. When you're ready, down dog. Maybe you're getting Charlie horses in your feet. That's okay. You're like, but it hurts. I said that because I felt a little Charlie horse like in the big toe area. So sometimes that's like when it's a little too much, maybe. I don't know. It's like, get curious about that. That's interesting. Maybe that's a little too much. Maybe I should let up next time. That's the practice. No judgment, just observation, curiosity. Take one more big inhale into your down dog. Exhale, gaze to the top of your mat. However you want to get there, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold with your exhale. Rise up, stand up, arms reach up. And exhale, hands to your heart. All right, you guys, just for a moment, this is different, but I just want you to kind of move your body however you want, however it wants. So it's like we do intuitive movement from hands and knees, do intuitive movement from standing. So maybe it looks, like I was saying, really ugly or really silly. Maybe it looks similar to what you do in a yoga practice. So just feeling around, what does your body want to do? Maybe you want to roll out your wrists. Make it feel good, whatever that means to you, whatever good means to you. Whatever good feels like in your body, I guess. All right, friends, we're getting ready to come back to a mountain position with your arms to your sides, palms open, receptive, feet grounded, rooted. Close your eyes, drop through the crown of your head and feel into the space inside. Again, maybe visualize the space inside. Your inner space, your inner sanctuary, your whole entire inner world. It's right there. You have access to it at any time, just by tuning in. Feel your breath flowing through. Visualize your breath flowing through. Feel all of you, all parts of you. Just welcome whatever's there. Accept and hold with your awareness, with your loving awareness, whatever's there. Breathe into it. Soften around it. Stay as you are, fill up as big as you can and hold. Maybe visualize your breath just circulating inside of you. Every tiny little space. And then open your mouth and release, sigh it out. Ujjayi. Inhale, reach up. High mountain. Exhale, dive down, forward fold. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Exhale, plant your hands, feet back. Vinyasa your way. Find your way back to a child's pose. Take some big, spacious breaths into your child's pose, down into your low back. Downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg to the sky and open up your hip. Hold here with your hip nice and open. Get this nice stretch. Option to flip your dog if you want to. Right foot comes down behind you. Lift your hips. Open through your front body and breathe down into your belly. One more full round of breath if you're in the back bend. And then we'll come back to a three-legged down dog. Square hips. So you might even set your right foot down and then re-extend your right leg to feel those nice square hips. From here, whenever you're ready, my friends, come into your pigeon pose, right shin to the top of your yoga mat and set your body down gently. Right hip pulls back and up. So try not to just push your right butt cheek towards the ground. That's not what we want to do. We want to find the strength and the structure, the integrity. Right hip back, plug it in. Start to bow forward. Breathe down into low belly, low back. Breathe down into hips, pelvic floor. So Pema Chodron, I don't know if you guys know Pema Chodron. She's like a Buddhist nun, meditation guide. She says the way to be with your feelings of like angst, anger, pain, sadness, grief, is to just fully come into your body. So let go of the story of what happened and just feel what's happening in your body. Feel where you feel that pain, feel where you feel that grief. Visualize that space inside of you and breathe into it. And as you breathe into it, feel it more. Let it have so much space inside of you. And as you exhale, you relax outwardly. So it's like this softening around it. And honestly, if you can be with a big emotion for just like 5 minutes, I think that's even longer than you need to be with it. It takes like 2 minutes sometimes, but if you can be with it fully, let go of the story, just feel it physically, feel it energetically, breathe into it, soften with your exhales. It really is like the most life-changing practice. So be with that here. If there's discomfort, if it comes up, if you're like, I want to get out of this pose, I hate it so much, it's too much, be like, can I be with it? Can I take a big deep breath into the sensation? And then soften around it with your exhale. Take just about 3 more rounds. Can you guys tell I went on a retreat this past weekend? I attended one and I like feel like I came back so full of inspiration. So you're getting it all today. All right, friends. We'll start to find our way back to down dog. So however you want to get there, you might come back into three-legged dog, give it a nice little shake, shake, shake. You might take some cat-cows. Maybe you would like to move through a vinyasa on your own. And if you're somebody who takes pigeon on your back or in a seat and you want to just stay there and move in any way that feels good from there, kind of neutralizing, totally fine with me. But if you do want to take a wild thing, you're going to have to come back to down dog. All right, Ujjayi breath, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up and back. Open up through your left hip, so peel it open. Maybe this feels really good, and you'd like to just stay here today. Maybe you want to flip it on this side. Left foot comes down behind you, left arm forward, heart forward. So opening through your front body, strong through your back body. Your back muscles hug around your spine. One more big breath if you're in the back bend with me. And then let's bring it back, three-legged down dog, and see if you can square off your hips. So maybe you even bring your left foot back down and then lift it back up. Strong and powerful from fingertips all the way up to left heel. One more inhale. Or whenever you're ready, I should just leave it up to you. Pigeon pose. Take your time, find that structure, that integrity. So if you can, sit your left butt cheek all the way down on the ground. My invitation to you is to not do that, to use actually strength to pull your left butt cheek up away from the ground and back. So you want to keep that. And it even helps sometimes if you bring your hands down and push them forward. You feel your left butt cheek kind of draw back. You want to keep that as you're bowing. Activation through your front toes and big, spacious breaths. Whatever's there, breathing into it, feeling it fully. Letting go of the story, letting go of the needing to figure something out. And just letting yourself feel what's inside. Exhale to soften. Ah. I feel like I kept us on the other side for a while, so I'm going to guess around 4 or 5 more breaths, but I'll leave it up to you. So if you're like, I think we were out of it like 2 breaths ago, then you can come out of it. We'll eventually, my friends, meet back in one final down dog. So please, no rush whatsoever. But when you're ready to start your own transition back to downward facing dog. Once you're in down dog, maybe you want to move through one last vinyasa. Maybe you want to come down on your hands and knees, some cat-cow, some intuitive movement. Maybe instead of a down dog, you'd rather take a child's pose. Maybe you're already down on your back. That's fine with me. All right, friends, and then from wherever you've ended up, let's say in your next 3 breaths or so, all the way, everybody, all the way down onto your back. So, resting down, and then take your arms over your head and your legs out long. You can reach like actively through fingers and toes, or you can just kind of relax there. Maybe your elbows bend and your toes flop out. But let your body be nice and long for a moment. Now, everybody actively reach your fingers, reach your toes. And if your ribs lift, if your front ribs lift a lot, see if you can press your back ribs down a little bit. Feel more neutral as you're reaching long. One more inhale, reach, reach, reach. Draw your right knee in, hands behind your right thigh, extend your left leg towards the sky. Either bring your left foot to the ground with your knee bent or left leg extended, but like your left foot is on an invisible wall. So left toes, like it's standing on a wall, left toes forward. Imagine a heavy sandbag on top of your left thigh. Neutral through your spine, press up through your heel, flex your toes back. If you can't get your legs straight, I can't get my legs straight, that's totally fine. Imagine you're trying to pull your right hip down. So femur bone is pulling down, plugging into the socket. You can stay here, you guys, and this is going to be a really good hamstring stretch. Stay right here if you want to. If you want to add a little core, this is for you, Barb. Just kidding. Here we go. We're going to walk our hands up our leg, lift our upper body, and then hover your left leg about a foot above the ground, maybe even less, maybe 6 inches. And then you can stay here, hugging your leg towards your upper body, so forehead towards shin, nose toward knee. Or if you want to, reach your arms forward. See if you can lift higher, see if you can relax through your face. Don't strain your neck, so if it helps, hands behind your head, draw your low belly down, press your low back towards the ground. One last breath. Okay, let it go. Bend your right knee. Hug your right knee in and up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Big Buddha belly breath. Half happy baby with your right leg. So hold on to the outer edge of right foot or right big toe or whatever you prefer. Imagine that heavy sandbag on top of your left thigh if your left leg's extended, otherwise left knee or left foot on the ground. Knee bent, totally fine. Root through the backs of your shoulders and if possible through the backs of your hips. Pull down with your arm, press up through your heel, flex your toes. One last big deep breath. Full body stretch again, arms long, legs long, reach actively. If front ribs are lifting, back ribs press down, find a more neutral spine, so that little bit of activation through your core. One more inhale, reach, long, 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 reach, reach, reach. Left knee draws in. Hands behind your left thigh, extend left leg up. So right now, we're just doing the hamstring. Right foot to the ground, knee bent, or right leg extended, stand on that invisible wall so your right toes are facing straight up. And that invisible sandbag's now on the top of your right thigh, backs of shoulders, backs of hips, rooted down. Flex your toes and see if you can even get your little baby pinky toe to move, to flex. So give me like, honestly, years and years and years to get my toes to do sort of kind of what I want them to do. So it's always a practice. We're gonna stay here if we want to, or we'll add our core. So walk your hands up your leg, lift your upper body, float your right leg. And then if you want to, reach your arms forward, low belly draws down, navel to spine, navel to spine. Hands can come behind your head if that helps. See if you can just let your head rest in your hands. Navel to spine, active toes. Big deep breaths. Lift higher, one last round. Release, bend your left knee. Hug your left knee up towards your left armpit. Big Buddha belly breath. Woo, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Half happy baby. So spend a few breaths in half happy baby like we did on the other side. But this time, if you want to turn it into a full happy baby, that's where we'll go. So whenever you're ready, you can turn it into a full happy baby. You can embody as much as you can a happy baby. What does a happy baby do when it's laying in his crib? Close your eyes and become the happy baby. All right, friends, from happy baby, 10 to 15 breaths to finish off your own practice however you want to. Maybe you're craving something. Maybe there's one last heart opener, hip opener, one last inversion. I did not do a supine spinal twist with you guys, so maybe you want a supine spinal twist. And I always feel like I'm pretty good at getting everything on both sides, not forgetting anything, but I know sometimes yoga teachers forget something on one side. So if I forgot anything that you noticed on one side and you're like, I really want to eat myself out, now is your time. That's my disclaimer for you. Like I said, most of the time I feel like I do a pretty good job, but every once in a while I'll be like lying in bed. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot that on the other side. I forgot warrior 2 on the left. All right, my friends, and then as you are ready, just start your own transition into your final relaxation, your Shavasana. So this is I was in Northern California for about 5 days. And the first couple days we spent in Carmel in a cutest little Airbnb, and they had all these books of poetry. So I was so happy. Just read poetry the whole time. They had this book of poetry that kind of had every single poet from like the beginning of, this one is 807 to 869, like time. Tong Shan. I studied Chinese. Did you guys know that? That was my minor in college. Tong Shan. That's my Chinese for you. Anyway, this is a poem by Tong Shan. It says, if you look for the truth outside yourself, it gets farther and farther away. Today, walking alone, I meet him everywhere I step. He is the same as me, yet I am not him. Only if you understand it in this way will you merge with the way things are. You look for the truth outside yourself. It gets farther and farther away. Today, walking alone, I meet him everywhere I step. He is the same as me, yet I am not him. Only if you understand it in this way will you merge with the way things are. Take a deep breath in. Feel that prana, that life force moving through your body, every space. When you're ready, open your mouth, let it come out your fingers, your toes. And start to just bring gentle movement back in, little wiggles. When you're ready, no hurry, but eventually just a fetal position, nurturing pose, curled into yourself. And just feel, while you're in your fetal position, feel into that sense of nurturing inside. Like you have your own connection to your own, not literal mother, but like the mother inside of you. She's just giving you a little bit of nourishment right now, a little bit of nurturing, a little bit of just feeling like you're being held and supported from the inside. And use your arms to slowly guide yourself up into seated meditation. Stay as connected to your body as you can, as connected to that feeling inside of you as you can. Maybe use your imagination, visualize your inner space. Eyes closed or lower and soften your gaze, hands to your own heart. And just take a moment and bow your head to your own heart, acknowledge yourself for taking time out of your day to practice, to inhabit your body more intentionally, connect and form a relationship with your body more intentionally. Thank you so much for letting me guide you. Namaste. Yay! Thank you, friends.
Thank
I'll
you.
see if you made it to the end of class.
I love the core. Thank you.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of core in yoga that you don't even like, it's not as obvious, but I hope it was enough for you.
That was awesome, Katie. Thank you.
You're so welcome, you guys. If I don't see you, yeah, I guess I'll see you the day after Christmas. So have a Merry Christmas.
You
Merry
too.
Christmas. Bye.
Bye. Bye.